What's up, everybody? It is officially episode 6 of the Coronavirus Happy Hour show. Tonight, we're going to just be social. So, what I want tonight is I want for everybody here that's watching to join in on the conversation. I'm curious about how everyone's doing. I think I've been on lockdown now for about 2 weeks. So, join in. Show us what you're drinking. Let's talk about just how things are going in your life. Maddie will be joining here shortly. And in the meantime, I'll share what I'm drinking, and then maybe we'll just go over some of the latest news while we wait for some people to join us live. So again, the URL I will put in the ticker. Hold on, I didn't finish doing that today, so let me do that real quick. So there's the URL. It's also in the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook group if you're watching there. So feel free to join us or join me until other people get here and Matt gets here. Tonight for happy hour, I'm doing the same thing I did last night. It's really good. It's I'm okay with it. It's a strawberry margarita made with Espanol and tequila, which I'm happy with. So while we wait for other people to join, I think what I'm going to do is just share a little bit of news about what's latest in the world of the coronavirus. And then we can talk about just what's going on with each other, with myself, how we're dealing with everything. So you can see we've crossed over 1 million cases worldwide. Again, I like to try and keep things positive. So, you can see about 20% of that, a little over 20% of those have already recovered. There's still obviously a ton of active cases. And of those active cases, I think it's also important to notice that 95% of those are mild conditions. So, globally, there's still, it's still a lot of people, but, I like to try and focus on the positives. And although there's a million of the 700 and almost 745,000 that are active, a lot of them are mild. Now, that doesn't mean go out and breathe on each other, but, I'd like to try and keep things a little bit positive as we go. If you go and look by country, you can see, once it loads here, you can see obviously we're still at the top of the list. We're obviously doing a lot more testing now. The past couple of days, it's been pretty, we've been very strong on testing, but, Spain's got, some problems. Look at France. I mean, those are scary numbers. But some good news. I was catching up with some of the latest news on this earlier this afternoon, and in the United States, California actually has started, it's not shown here, but they've actually started to flatten the curve. So everyone's heard about this whole idea and concept of flattening the curve. Well, California's already started to do so. So that's good news. And I think how they measured that on the site I was looking at was they took kind of just like the U.S. cases, and it's kind of, the curve of the total U.S. And then they showed kind of California, how it was a little bit above that line and then kind of started to dip below it. So that's how they're counting as flattening the curve. I mean, I wouldn't say that California has reached the apex at all, but it's kind of crossed below the kind of average across America, which is good. I mean, that means that this social isolation that we're all dealing with is working, and I think that's important. So, that's kind of the news here. If anybody's from any of these states, Pennsylvania, which is where I am, we've got 7,000 cases, another 1,000 overnight. Again, we're just testing more. That's all that really is related to. And you can see of those 7,000, most of them are still active. So, we haven't gotten to the point yet where, these numbers are going to really start to flatten out, because we've been in lockdown mode for about 2 weeks now. So that 2 weeks kind of means that, it takes about that long in order for you to actually start to see the cases come up. It takes 5 days, give or take, for the incubation period, and then takes a little bit of time for you to actually start getting bad enough where you're showing signs or symptoms, and start to get tested. And also the testing is something that's just starting to get more and more widely available. The one story that I wanted to see if I could grab for us, hold on one second, I will stop sharing this page and go to another one. I have a friend of mine who is an ER doc down in Florida, and there's a cruise ship. I'm trying to find some story about it. There's 2 cruise ships. Looks like here's a news story I'll pull up from USA Today. 2 cruise ships down there that are sitting off the coast and on their way in. And there's been a big debate in Florida as to whether or not these cruise ships are going to be allowed to dock. They've tried to dock in a bunch of other cities or countries, I guess. And so I'll make sure this doesn't autoplay, because I hate when videos autoplay when you load a website. And there's been this big debate down in Florida about whether or not they should let them. I think what I read was they had to have some kind of consensus across the governmental bodies, I guess, in order to let them do so. So it looks like that the officials are now letting the Holland American cruise ships that have COVID-19 patients on them dock in Florida, and I think they're doing it in Port Canaveral. So I have a couple of friends in Florida who are probably, may end up dealing with these patients. One's an ER doc, and another one's a nurse, or at least a nursing student. So this is an interesting story, because it's like, what do? You've got these people in this cruise ship. Do you let them come on board? I mean, do you let them dock? Most of them, I think there's some deaths. We'll scroll through here and read some of the details. There's been a couple of deaths on board. A lot of people are just sick, and I don't know how many of those are critically sick, but if you let them come on board, then you got to quarantine them, right? I think that's what they did in Florida. I mean, in California. But let's read and see if we can find what they're saying they're going to do with these people. So the Holland American reached a deal with the authorities to allow that cruise line to dock 2 of its ships, the Zaandam and the Rotterdam, at Port Everglades in Florida. Looks like they are going to now allow them to disembark. I'm not sure what they're going to do with them. Let's see. Let's see what they say. They're going to agree to sufficiently insulate their people in Fort Lauderdale so that they don't get other people sick. 4 elderly patients on the Zaandam died. 2 of the 4 deaths on board have been blamed on COVID, so I guess they haven't confirmed the other 2 yet. 9 people have tested positive for COVID as well. But there's a lot of other people sick. Between the Zaandam and the Rotterdam, there's a total of 107 passengers with 143 crew members that have presented flu-like symptoms since March 22nd. I think this cruise ship was coming from like a trans-Panama cruise, like the Panama Canal. So passengers who passed a health screening were transferred to the Rotterdam last weekend. The passengers on both ships we put into 3 basic categories. So the first group, which includes 1,200 passengers, they are asymptomatic. They'll be allowed to disembark on Friday or Saturday, and then they'll be taken through charter buses directly to the airport, where they'll board charter flights. That's kind of crazy. Also goes through separate Customs and Border Patrol processes. So that's, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, but who am I? Just because you're asymptomatic, I mean, that doesn't mean you don't carry it. So I would think they would put them in quarantine. That's a little scary in my opinion, but again, I'm not an official. That way they won't infect anyone along the way. No, just when they get wherever they're going, it makes a whole lot of sense. Passengers have been isolated in their rooms since March 22nd, unless they made a transfer to the Rotterdam from the Zandam, and then they would have been put on tender between the two ships for a brief period. The second group, containing 45 symptomatic passengers, will remain on board the ship. All those passengers will be required to quarantine on board. Always they're quarantining someplace a little bit comfortable instead of just a bed that's set up in the cruise terminal. Once they're asymptomatic for 72 hours, they'll be allowed to disembark under the same protocol. Okay, again, so they're not testing that second group either. Makes a whole lot of sense. And the third group, made up of only 9 people, that's 8 passengers and 1 crew member, are in need of critical care. So all 9 will be taking off ship to our local hospital system is willing and prepared to take them. So there, I guess you're going to see 9 patients go to the hospital for some critical care. Surprised that I guess, I don't know how bad of critical care they are in need of right now. I don't know, but I couldn't imagine that there's ventilators on cruise ships. Maybe there is. If anybody works for a cruise line, maybe they do have ventilators. Maybe they're not that critical. Maybe they just need fluids and, supportive care with oxygen or something like that. So that's interesting. They initially were apprehensive about the possibility of docking the ships because they could pose a risk to the community. Yeah, or wherever they decide to go. Absolutely. We're assuming people who get sick have it. Of course, you should assume that. Only 9 have tested positive. So maybe it's just those that have tested positive that are going to the hospital. So yeah, that's an interesting. That's interesting because I'm sure people are frustrated and ready to get off the ship. They've been told already last night to have their luggage ready and go this morning, fill out their health forms, and they're just waiting, which I guess makes sense. Again, I don't know that that's I don't know. I don't know really how I feel about that one. If anybody's watching, wants to chime in, how would you feel if people were coming off the cruise ship and weren't really tested, but were kind of sent back home? I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, again, if you want to chime in, please join me. Let's have a conversation about it. In the meantime, as we wait for people to do that, or for Maddie to join us, let's take a look at some of the latest news here. You can see I haven't even clicked on this yet today. I'm so busy with work. Working from home still doesn't mean you don't have to work. So besides the 1 million cases, let's look at some other news. So, this is the problem. Right around this time, they hold their briefings, and then every news story is related to, what Trump's doing. I mean, I don't really know that he's the person that makes the decisions, but whatever. So he announces new guidelines for nursing homes. So let's see. They're saying that they're going to recommend being, I guess, the key word, all nursing home facilities assign the same staff to care for the same group of residents consistently, just to help prevent the spread. Okay, that makes sense. They're also recommending that they designate separate areas for healthy and sick patients. That makes sense. This practice and health agency would likely to continue recommending long into the future. Yeah, I mean, I think that's good practice no matter what, right? Like, here's the sick people, here's the not sick people. All right, the Louisville Fairgrounds are going to be turned into a 2,000-bed field hospital. Wow, that is huge. Kentucky Governor Andy Bouchard announced the state is working on plans to convert the fairgrounds into 2,000-bed field hospital for coronavirus patients. He said the state is working on doing this with the help of Army Corps of Engineers. And new executive order Thursday that requests visitors traveling to Kentucky to quarantine for 14 days. Yeah, other states have been doing that too. So that's interesting. There's kind of at the state level, people are trying to decide, if you're coming to our state from somewhere else, they kind of want you to quarantine. I wonder how big that the fairgrounds in Louisville is. I kind of want to look that up because that's got to be huge. 2,000 beds. I'm not really sure where that is either, because there's a number of places I'm seeing pop up at Louisville Expo Center, Event Center. I don't really know exactly where that is. Oh, here looks like here's a picture of it. Yeah, it looks like it's a stadium, so it's got to be pretty big. I don't want to show because I'm not exactly sure if what I'm looking at is the right thing, and I don't want to, show something that's inaccurate. Let's go back to this. I don't even know if I was sharing the CNN site, so let's go back to that so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. The Javits Center is now ready to treat coronavirus patients. That's good. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Javits Center in New York. It's just crazy, to just imagine that that's now a field hospital. That the Army Corps of Engineers has done a pretty amazing job with just building these things so quickly. It is pretty commendable. So what are they saying? The temporary hospital there can now treat the COVID patients. That's good. By the way, Andrew Cuomo, this guy's hilarious. I don't know if you've seen him. There's been like this banter between him and his brother, whose brother actually has COVID now. He's a CNN anchor. And I've seen a couple of videos where the two of them are going at each other. It's hilarious. And if anybody's seen that and wants to talk about it, please join in and talk about it. So the Javits Center, they've got 2,500 beds there. It's pretty amazing. So here they're saying the original plan was for it to be used to take non-COVID patients. However, the number of COVID positive patients has increased so dramatically that they're going to have to use that Javits Center to accept COVID patients. So that makes sense. He asked President Trump this morning to consider the requests and the urgency of this matter, and the president has informed me that he granted New York's request. That's good. Like, I like to see these guys working together. I mean, even on the bill that was passed last Friday, I know that there was a lot of bickering and people want to make it political. It's still pretty good that you're finding people on either side of the aisle not bickering anymore. It's kind of annoying. I've been kind of annoyed for the past number of years at just how political everything's gotten. I used to watch all those news shows because I used to work in TV, and I had to stop watching it because it's just too much left, too much right. I don't really care. I always make the argument. I think most Americans are in the middle, like Maddie is. What's up, Maddie? How you doing, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, boss. Yeah, it's a little crackly on my end, but.
Oh, well, it could be me. I don't know. I was just talking about
restart my 1990 or my Windows 2000 Macintosh.
Yeah, I thought you still had the Commodore 64.
Dinosaur computer.
You're not still running the Commodore 64?
Yeah, I just got done. That's why I'm late. Yeah, that's why I was late, because I was playing the Oregon Trail. I'm sorry.
So Jennifer just commented a few minutes ago, and just now she said, Jennifer, join us, click the link, and come on camera and say hi. But she commented on Facebook, unfortunately, most patients in a long-term care facility are sick to some extent. Yeah, I mean, that's where a lot of this started happening, right, in Seattle. And then, like, people would go visit Seattle and take it other places. She says, and as a social worker, there's an issue with patients and residents' rights, moving patients and residents based on illness. It's a good point. Of course, it makes sense at the moment, but not in the long run. This is their home, their last home. Yeah, another good point, Jennifer. I'd love to hear your perspective around that and experience. I saw somewhere, I don't remember where it was, but it looked like somewhere they were actually taking like one residential home, or not one, but different residential homes, and saying this one now is the COVID home and this one's the non-COVID home. So, I don't know if that's, what the impact on that is from a patient rights perspective. But can they take you from one home and move you to another? Like, what if I'm paying for the nice one and the not nice one is set up as a COVID facility? If I get COVID, I go to the not nice one? Like, I don't know how that all works out. So, Jennifer, please join in on the conversation. I'd love to learn more from you with your experience. Maddie, it's 6:20. Tell me you've got your soda.
You should see what QVC.
Why?
No.
Does QVC, are they selling
QVC.
COVID masks?
No, they're selling lemon or lime, like fruit arrangement, like fake trees. Like, why would you put that in your house?
Crazy stuff.
I don't
know. You've never.
That's what we're going on.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Take a break for a moment. Let's talk about this. You've never had fake plastic, like fruit bowls in your house ever growing up? You've never had that? No?
No.
Really?
No.
So I'm going to admit something. I obviously had
fake. Look. I gotta go the other way.
Well, I can't really. We can't really see that.
Can you see that or not?
No. All we see is just a bright.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, now they're selling fruit. Say.
No, but when I was growing up, we had, fake fruit. I remember, piss off my mom.
I've been in
squeeze one.
When my mom was selling,
get dented.
Like my mom.
And
my mom used to sell houses.
Yeah. No, but this was this is back. When I was growing up, this was like a thing. You would decorate your house with fake fruit. They still sell it. Actually, a number of years ago, I actually.
It's a thing now.
Huh? They're selling it on QVC.
It's still a thing because they're selling it right now.
Yeah,
you can get it for $37 and 82 cents.
I don't know that I'm paying $37 for it.
It's like a fruit, like a tower,
for my house. I bought a bunch of fruit to put in a bowl, and I think I put it out for like a week. And I was like, "What am I doing? It's not 1983."
No, but got the old Dirt Wolf today.
Oh, you're doing the Dirt Wolf. I'm doing this strawberry daiquiri, which, here's the problem. When you use good tequila, it goes down really fast. I think we've been on for 20 minutes. And I've been talking the whole time. Jennifer says, honestly, right now, I don't know how any of this is working out either. Nursing homes are very expensive, and most patients that live in one for a year or more will put their money. If they had money to move into one to begin with, a lot of payment and long-term care facilities is state funded. Yeah, that's a good point too. I remember when I was a kid, I worked in one. I was a dishwasher in a nursing home in Lansdale, right across from Merck. But yeah, so Jennifer,
I was a security guard at one
conversation because I want to talk to you about this. What's that, Matt?
So I was a security guard at.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, a lot of my friends were security guards at nursing homes.
And then I went over to maintenance, and I would change the light bulbs. I had a wagon that would pull through with a 4-foot ladder, and I would see a light bulb out, and I would change the light bulb.
Yeah. Now, how many mats does it take to change a light bulb? Never mind. Bad joke. All right.
A lot. It's difficult.
All right.
I know.
What? I'm going to go back here and let's talk about something. Actually, hold on. I'm going to go to the next story real quick. Or maybe we'll scroll on to the next interesting story, but let me fill up my beverage for half a second.
But you were saying before, I was listening before when I was getting off the Oregon Trail. It was these guys are getting sick on the cruise ships, and you guys are trying to get, they don't know what's your opinion on that. Just go self-quarantine. Like, you don't spread this. I'm with Justin, from earlier in the week. Just stay home. Just stay home.
Yeah, well, these people are coming off the cruise ship, so
stay home. Right. Just then go home and stay there.
Yeah, but
just
but here's the thing. I agree with that, but they're on a cruise ship, so
get off the cruise ship,
right?
Rent a car and drive.
Well, these people
don't stay in a hotel.
They live in other countries. They live in other parts of this country. They can't drive.
Well, then get to where you're going and stay there. If you have to have a hotel, because obviously you have enough money to go on a cruise.
I don't even think that they should be. I
You
don't
can't
know.
quarantine in a
2 weeks
sickened
to make sure
place.
you don't have it. Yeah, you can. I don't know. I mean, they're coming off of a cruise ship. They did it in California.
Is there any?
California? Huh?
What was the results of that?
I mean, I think they only kept people for like less than a week. It wasn't really that bad.
Okay, here's the bright picture of life. Just stay home. Don't get on a cruise. Don't get on an airplane. Just stay home.
I get it. I don't disagree with you. But these people are already on a cruise ship. So I was talking to Justin earlier. Jennifer just said the Florida governor won't let them disembark. Well, Jennifer, unless something changed, it looks like he's going to let people that, what did it say? I'll go back to it. Looks like he's going to let people that have, here, let me share the screen again. They're putting them into 3 groups. Let me share. I'm just going to share my whole window. It's just easier. I get this page to load again. All right, so they're saying they're going to break them up into 3 groups. So the first group so South Florida residents returning home via ground transportation were expected to depart on Thursday. All others will return to the ship until Friday, when they will be bused directly to the tarmac at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. From there, they will board one of 5 charter flights bound for Atlanta, San Francisco, Toronto, and Paris, Frankfurt. A 5th flight bound for London Heathrow will depart around 1 a.m. Saturday. So that's for people that, what they're saying is, that's for people that were given a health screening and transferred to a different ship last weekend. So that's good. The second ship that has 26 symptomatic patients are not yet to travel will remain on board the ship, and they'll be quarantined. Once they're asymptomatic for 72 hours, they'll be allowed to disembark. And the third group will be going to the hospital. But I thought they said the 4th group, where other people died. Where was it?
Did you see they're in Florida? They're doing with the weight stations. You got to pull over.
The what?
The weight stations. So instead of waiting in trucks, they're pulling everybody. You have to pull over to make sure that you're a Floridian, as they call them. And if you're not, why are you down here or down there? I just saw that.
Right. So here's the interesting part. In a document outlining the disembarkation procedure, the first group, which includes 1,200 passengers who are asymptomatic, meaning they're showing no signs, they'll be allowed to disembark on Friday or Saturday after passing a health screen. So is that health screening going to be taking a test, or is it going to just be like, oh, do you have a temperature?
Or are they going to test them?
It just says a health screening. It's pretty ambiguous. Jennifer says, oh, sorry, I've been fed most of the day sick. She's not completely up to date. That's all right, Jennifer. Hopefully you don't have the COVID. Hopefully you're just seasonal allergies or sinuses or something like that. Hopefully you're doing okay. I talked to Justin earlier today, Matt, who's a friend of ours who is recovering. He said he was actually feeling a little bit worse today. So I talked to him earlier. I sent him the link to see if he wanted to join, talk with us. So we'll see what he decides to do.
That's weird because he was doing good. Like he was high in spirits. It was sound like he
Yeah,
needed it.
except he said that he decided to go to his shop and start like polyurethaning the floor. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm.
He's like, maybe I'm overdoing it. I'm like, yeah, you're overdoing it. Like,
Right.
you should just stay home and like get better. So he's like, yeah, I'm really sore and I had a headache. I'm like, your body just been fighting a virus for the past 2 weeks. Maybe you should just relax. Jennifer says no fever, no cough. That's good news. That's good news. I like good news. And I cannot lie. Let's see what else we got. That's not the right button.
What's going on over in Italy? Are they saying the people that are surviving this, and speaking with Justin that had it, he didn't, he beat it. So, is there any news on who's surviving? And
yeah, I mean, I can look at the stats. I was showing earlier that, the good news is that, again, trying to keep things positive. There's 1 million cases right now, but 211 people have recovered, so that's just about 20%. And of the 700 and what is it? Where did it go? Of the 745,000 active cases, 707 of those are mild. 95% are mild. 37,000 are critical. 5%. That's still a lot, but that's good news, right? I like good news. I'm not saying you should jump right out and I don't know, go kissing everybody, but it's good news.
not yet.
No, I don't know that that's ever a good practice unless you're in Italy. It's a little bit more socially acceptable there. So,
Which
what's that?
What did you do today? Anything good?
I worked. I worked today. Although I had a big accomplishment today. I took a shower before 4:00 this afternoon.
There you go.
So I had one at lunch instead, which was much better. Although I still need to get better with actually eating. I did eat something, I don't know, somewhere around lunch, 1:00, 2:00, something like that. But doing this at 6:00, like I go straight. I had a meeting today until like 5:50, and I'm not eating food. I'll do this for however long, and I need to do a better job of actually eating. I was reading somewhere this one guy was talking about how, he used to just do nothing but eat fast food, but now that he's not eating fast food, he's lost like 7 pounds or something. So that's good.
There you go. Me, unfortunately, I sent Roxanne to go get a box from Taco Bell. So if anybody knows what Taco Bell in the box, that consists of 12 tacos.
Yeah, why are you doing that to yourself?
Well, I didn't eat all 12. I split it with somebody else. That's 6. It's good enough, right?
I don't know.
And they were tasty.
Did you see what I was talking about yesterday? Well, you didn't send me any. I love how Burger King now has like a Burger King box for like 12 or 13.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 6 or 7.
13 Whoppers.
Is it 13 Whoppers?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, 13 Whoppers. That's like
6 or 7 Whoppers. It's insane. I was going to order it the other day, but I decided not to. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight.
Let's order it right now.
Chicken Alfredo is what I cooked for dinner last night. Here's I'll cook dinner like when I'm done this at like 8 or 9, whatever time. Probably not 8 or 9 tonight, but and then I'll like eat half of it because it's just me, and then I'll find myself sitting there playing video games with Paul at like 11:30 or 12, and I'll eat the other half of it. So I'm like having 2 dinners. It's probably not very good. Probably not very good. So the people that are watching, join us. Talk to us. What's your day been like? How are you handling things? What are your thoughts on this cruise ship coming in the port in Florida? What should those people be doing?
How are you keeping busy by being at home? I feel
Yeah,
really.
I mean, this is how I'm keeping busy, right? So I work all day, and then I jump on here and I talk to as many people as I can, and that keeps me sane. And then after that, I get something to eat, and I play something. I play some Call of Duty with Paul. Did you like my? I decided that my hair's getting so long because I can't go to the haircut, get a haircut. Now I'm just doing the slick back Italian move. I don't know if you like it.
With the hair you have left.
Hey, you kiss my ass.
He's
Yeah, I
got
saw
hair, but it's gray.
somebody commented on the show yesterday about they're like, oh, I know those two bald guys, and I was like, who's talking like that about me? It wasn't me. They were talking about Joe and Jim. Joe, I saw you were watching. You should jump on in and say hi too. Hmm. So here's open. I don't know what day of the week it is.
It's Thursday, bro. It's
Yeah,
payday.
but you just took you 3 seconds to think about it and try and figure it out.
It's payday. Thursday.
Fine. For you, it's payday. But it's
did
Thursday,
you see?
and I'm like, oh, it's the weekend. What am I going to do this weekend? The same thing I've done for the past 2 weekends, and the same thing I'm doing right now.
Stay at home.
Stay at home. Yeah. I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna do this week. I'm not gonna go to the liquor store down in Delaware.
Right. Did you?
No.
Oh well. Speaking of liquor stores, did you see the Pennsylvania liquor stores came back?
Yeah, I saw they came back for online sales and crashed.
See, that's the toilet flushing. It crashed.
Yeah, they crashed the system super fast. Like they should have known better.
Right.
Somebody said they should just open up the stores for pull up. Place your order online, pick it up in store. They should have an app for that. Hey, anybody that's with Pennsylvania right now, if you want to create an app for that, just let me know. I'll do it with my spare time and charge a lot of money for it.
Ha
ha.
Oh, now they're selling like a bunny, 18.5-inch embossed bunny lamp. Interesting.
Not that interesting, actually.
Yeah.
So,
what
are you guys doing at home on the weekends? Because I know you got Mason.
Yeah. So what we do is do a lot of walks. We're walking a lot. Well, like last weekend sucked because the rain, obviously. But yeah, we're walking. We walk all around the neighborhood. We walk up to the school, and then we do our
playground taped off, so you can't jump on the playground.
Yeah, the playgrounds are all taped off up at the school, so we just social distance each other. Like if we see our neighbors, we're just like, hey,
So
we
you're
stay
getting some exercise.
sidewalk. Yeah. I know my sisters, they're doing something with Roxanne. I think they're doing like a mile a day, or who can walk the most. I don't.
Yeah. At work they're having step challenges, and they're also now having a plank challenge.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, thank you.
That
I have thought I should at least do some push-ups or something recently, because the gym not being open, that's not fun. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting at home eating and not working out.
I mean, Kenny told us, what to do earlier.
Yeah, well, you know what? We never even got around to him giving us some tips. He needs to join us again. Kenny, if you're watching, you need to join us so you can tell me what to do. I mean, I know, just do anything. Do some push-ups. I'm sure there's calisthenics, as they used to call it, that I could do. What's everyone out there doing for staying healthy? Are you running, walking? I've seen people are doing videos, watching videos doing yoga and stay at home, workouts. Did you see that ad for that mirror workout, that mirror gym? I think they I just saw last night. I was watching.
Roxanne's like this close to buying a Peloton.
The Peloton, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was an ad last night on TV. I was watching some Monty Python just because why not? By the way, side note, every movie that you ever wanted to watch is now just being played on TV because we're that bored. But there was a commercial for that mirror gym, and this one was more than just a mirror. It's like a mirror, but a TV's embedded in the mirror, so you can work out. But this one had like cables and like you could do like curls and all kinds of exercises with a digital weight. I guess just resistance bands to make it so like it's like you're pulling up on however much weight. Yeah, I could do it. So Rick just texted me. He said he's going to join us in a couple of minutes. So Rick's in Florida. He was out of Jersey and went down there to kind of escape all this. And I think he's a little paranoid thinking he has it now. So he'll join us in a couple of minutes to
that's why he's got why.
What's that? What'd you say?
There's like I said, they're putting the weight stations. They're pulling the guys over instead of doing like a DUI checkpoint. Now they're doing like a resident checkpoint to make sure you live down there, make sure you're there. I don't know. Rick could probably tell us more. I just read it online. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's the internet.
He flew down there. Yeah, he flew down there, but there was a lot of states are doing that. We just saw the news story I was looking at a little bit ago. Here, I'll share some more. We can look at where it is. It was this. I think it's this guy here in Louisville, in Kentucky. He said he issued a new executive order that requires visitors traveling to Kentucky to quarantine for 14 days. Now, I don't know how they're filling that. Like, I know in some states they were actually having people go door to door. Like they saw a license plate like outside from another state. They were going door to door and telling you.
No. We're grown-ass adults. We know.
Yeah.
Just stay home.
Well, clearly we're not.
Well, and it's going to be, told you so, because they're saying stay home. Just stay home. If you're not an essential worker, understand when I say, stay home. If you're not an essential worker, just stay home. There's no reason for you to be out there. Trust me. I'm an essential worker. I see it. There ain't nothing out there that you haven't seen before besides nothing. Oh, wait. You saw it when you went to the grocery store, the new sneeze guards. It's almost like going to a box office and trying to get tickets. There's a big window and then a little window cut underneath there. And then you just do your transaction that way.
Yeah.
You guys been a while. Everybody's been a while. Wawa has like the most generic sneeze guards.
Yeah, but I don't even know that Wawa's the place I would be going to right now. Have you been on Wawa recently?
Hey, man. Yeah. I go to Wawa every day.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be going to Wawa right now. Too many people. The Chick-fil-A, the Wawa by me, there's a Chick-fil-A drive-thru right next to it. Why do I got to go to Wawa? Right. What about getting gas? Are they providing like gloves at the gas stations?
Nope.
So like,
they had the gas mitten. As I
they have those. Okay.
Well, that was like back in the night. Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't gotten gas because I've barely been obviously not driving. I should go. I do have like a half a tank, so I should go. Huh?
I
didn't drive my car to Delaware. I only drove my car to the dealership to get it fixed recently. That was fun. Yeah, I'm like, it was one of the things I was thinking about. I was like, maybe I should get some gas. And I was like, I don't really have anything to hold the gas pump up with. Like, I guess I could bring a rag or something just in case. But
you use the gas, use the keypad, and then sanitize.
Yeah, that's true. But do you have sanitizer? I
do. I have 3 bottles in my truck.
You're hoarding the sanitizer now. I don't have it. I have like one mini bottle like that big.
Dude, it's like a shot glass. I can show you what I got.
Yeah, let me show you that.
I'll have to get into my truck and get it.
Oh. Okay. I don't have anything. Where was I? All right. So, that's just not a story I care about. Trump again tests negative for coronavirus. That's nice. It's all these Trump stories because he just did his I guess daily briefing. New York City issues new guidance for people to wear a face covering when outside in public.
I saw a little town, Texas, is getting $1,000 fine if you don't have a face mask on.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously? I have to look for that. I have not seen that. That
Yeah,
would be
shit up
great.
online. Yeah, shit up online.
Yeah, see, the problem is you can't. Yeah, that's why you can't trust social media, especially like a day after April Fools. That's $1,000 fine for not wearing a face mask.
It was all. Yeah, they
I'll
didn't
look
tell
it
you
up.
to town.
I'll Google it.
No,
So
can't
now
wait.
New Yorkers are advised to wear a face covering when outside and near other people. It does not mean that New Yorkers should wear a medical mask when outside and that they should be left for healthcare workers. It could be a scarf. It could be anything you create at home, like a bandana.
Hold on.
They just don't want to get people sick, I guess. Like, you know. But then again, the subways are still wide open, so you know you can go on the subway. I saw a story yesterday. There was a ton of people on the subway, not social distancing whatsoever. So you know that's kind of nuts. Yeah, but it's a good idea, I guess. I don't know. I went out and bought these N95 masks before all this happened because I saw it coming, and people thought it was crazy. By the way, I haven't put it on yet. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really out, but even going to the grocery store, like, first of all, it's this huge face mask. Like, do I really need that to go to the grocery store? I don't know. Maybe the answer is yes. I understand the difference. Like, the covering is just so if you have it, you don't get other people sick. I get it. New York State's going to conduct hospital by hospital inventory survey every night. That's crazy. I guess are they concerned about supplies are an ongoing challenge. PPE is an ongoing challenge. Gowns, gloves, and ventilators. We have the first time we ever have a hospital by hospital survey that will be done on a nightly basis of exactly what they have. I guess they have to do that, right? I mean, you know, you can't just make guesstimates. Rather than have all these regional systems and public systems, private systems, et cetera, we have a central stockpile. We're asking all the hospitals to contribute what they have to that central stockpile, and then they'll distribute on an as-needed basis. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how people are handling that.
No, I was looking for Roxanne went to Target and bought masks, and I was just making sure they said N95 on them. But
no, probably not. Most masks are not N95 masks; they're just like the cloth masks or the.
Like I have N95 masks, but
Jennifer
like
says the news is saying that Trump may make it nationwide. I missed that comment.
Yeah, for what?
That was just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
What, a nationwide survey of the hospitals every night, or making people wear masks? I wasn't sure what Jennifer means there. I'd like to see that story too. Send that to me if you find it.
Yeah, and if you guys want to join the conversation about masks.
She says she's not feeling so great, so she doesn't want to be on the camera.
No, I'm just saying.
You can join and turn your camera off if you want to just chat. We don't mind that either. But then again,
just join in. How about daycares? Like, is anybody's daycare getting charged? Like, is daycare charging you guys? You know,
are daycares even open?
No, but some daycare, you know, because you have the, you know, enrollment.
Oh, like automatically.
Like even private schools. Like, is private schools still charging tuitions?
I heard that somebody was saying that if like college students are all home now, right? But there's a lot of them are still being charged for the residencies, like for rent, even though they're not there.
Yeah,
so it's probably a similar situation. I'm not sure how that's working out. This is that Life Care Center of Kirkland. This is where the whole thing kind of started in Seattle, or at least where it got bad. So it says Washington State.
I was there.
You weren't at the Life Care Center. You were in Seattle.
No, I was in Kirkland.
What were you in Kirkland for?
I knew a couple that got married out there.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Okay.
That's what brought me out there. And if you ever get out there, make sure you see the Space Needle. And then when you're on the Space Needle, make sure you look for Chris Cornell. His statue's at World Pop Museum. It's a pretty cool statue.
Okay. What's up, Eric?
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Across the courtyard from me.
Yeah.
Close enough. How you doing?
Looking the other direction, though. I'm doing all right. Yeah. How you guys doing?
We're hanging out.
Just the three of
socially.
us.
Just the three of us
Yeah.
talking. There's a couple, about 5 people watching. Oh, Jen
All
said
right on.
mess.
What's that?
It says mess. No, it was just somebody was making comments on Facebook about the forcing people to wear masks. Trump's talking about maybe making it nationwide. What are you wearing? Is that a? Let me see your sweatshirt. Oh, okay. I thought it said Cowboys.
No, it's gibberish basically. I bought it in Poland.
Oh, so that's actually funny. There's a girl that watches named Heather. Joins in on the show a lot. She's actually in Poland right now, so
Nice.
she teaches English as a second language to people over there. Although she's like, yeah, I go out to the stores and I can't understand anything it says because it's gibberish.
Yeah, well, Rich Meeson had a friend of his who's from Poland and speaks Polish decipher the fact that it's not actually Polish and it means nothing.
Really?
Yep.
So
I thought it was like a Nike symbol for the longest time.
oh my God! So
Yeah.
they're selling. I'm not going to make a joke about it, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Wearing
You can.
hoodies in Poland
Yep. That mean nothing.
that mean nothing.
Yes. But it's warm, so I really don't care.
Yeah, is it nice outside? I haven't been outside yet. Are you on? It looks like you're on your porch.
Yeah, I am. I'm on the outside of the building. It's a little breezy, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. What have you been up to? How you been doing with the stay at home?
Well, I was sick for the first 2 weeks of this, so I was pretty much in bed most of the time. So for me, it's really
what
been.
kind of sick? You weren't this sick, right?
No, I had bronchitis or strep throat, basically.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So you were already stuck at home for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, they like the mandate was if you go out and you have a weakened immune system, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even let me go to the hospital to get tested. They had me send pictures of my throat and whatnot to the doctor, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they give you like
weakened
medicine for it or anything, or no?
Yeah, they gave me a 10-day prescription for penicillin.
Antibiotic or something.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's cool. Have you been out and about now, like over to Wegmans or anything?
Yeah, it's like the excitement of my week. Every other day I go there just to get out of the house.
Yeah.
You know, like I've gone walking, like I do walks around the mall just to get out too. So
The mall? Is the mall open?
the outside of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a long walk.
It's like 4 miles, 5 miles.
Wow. Yeah.
Good for you, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Well,
sitting here
TB12
working.
says you need at least 30 minutes a day of exercise. So
Who says that?
Tom
TB.
Brady.
Oh, yeah, right. TB.
All right, kick him off. Bye.
Well, he's actually not a fan of Tom Brady anymore because he's a Patriots fan. So Tom Brady's
No, I'm a
gone.
Patriots fan, but that doesn't mean that I don't like Tom Brady.
Oh, but you know.
Well, guess
Are
what?
you going to root for him? What happens when they play?
Right. I guarantee you, when we see him, he'll be wearing a Buccaneers jersey.
No, I won't.
What are you going to do
won't
when
happen,
the
but-
Bucs play New England?
What am I going to do? I'm going to root for the Patriots.
Okay, well there you
But
go.
that's probably not going to happen in the near future, or
probably
when Tom
not.
Brady's playing them. So
Yeah, probably not.
unless the league is really smart and next year they put him up against,
Yeah, they
against
should.
each other, but
Yeah, they
they
should.
probably won't.
That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting game. I'd like
That'd
to
be
see
fun
how
to
that
watch.
works out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be fun to watch.
I'm kind of curious to see how the NFL draft goes.
Yeah, when is the draft? It's coming up, right?
I don't know the exact date that they've called it, but I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks out.
Are they gonna do it live? Like,
So as of now, they said they're going to do it live, and they'll have they're talking about having.
no audience?
Well, it won't be. It'll so they'll do the announcements from home. They'll have in war room videos where it'll be like split screen. So you'll
Yeah.
have each person either in their home or in an isolated area within a hotel room, and then they'll do a phone call to the. I think they'll probably only do this the first round, but then a phone call to the person who's been drafted,
Right. Maybe like a
without
video.
announcing it first, and then have the announcement with them and their reaction live. So
Okay. That'll be interesting.
yeah,
Because
But,
usually
I
that's
mean,
like a major
that may
event.
change. Like they haven't
Yeah.
confirmed that yet. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure out how to get that multi-screen shifted and ensure the internet access for all of the people who potentially could be drafted,
Yeah.
because
right, that's a
everyone's
lot
at
of
home.
people.
It's not the best right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's crazy. That's like, I know like every other sport is canceled, and I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I guess baseball will come back, but I don't know that basketball is going to come back. I don't know that hockey. I mean, maybe. What are they going to do?
Hockey's
Play
already.
hockey?
They've told all stadiums to make available the month of August for playoffs.
That's crazy.
The only issue with that, with starting in June,
Starts in
end of
October.
June, is like Ontario has already said that they won't have any social events take place until the end of June, potentially the middle of July. So the surrounding regions in Canada would be able to have like an NHL game, but
Yeah.
Ontario has already said that they won't do it. So that might cause some issue because the Maple Leafs are pretty much almost guaranteed a spot in the playoffs right now. So
Yeah, the Flyers were doing pretty good too, weren't they?
yeah, they picked it up pretty well in the second half of the year, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where they exist because I don't follow hockey that strongly. But I mean, I don't know. What about basketball? Are they going to have basketball playoffs? Like,
I don't really
how do
care.
you do? I know you don't care about basketball, but like, how do you do ice? How do you do hockey? Matt might know a little bit about the hockey. What's going on? How do you do?
Well, I don't know about
playoffs
other
in October?
stadiums.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
about
what
other
about the
stadiums.
hockey?
I don't know about other stadiums, but the Garden in Boston, they're adding now
Bruins? I don't talk
additional
about that.
air conditioning units on the upper part of the stadium. So the entire stadium stays cold and the ice doesn't melt as fast. Because it's still going to be kind of soupy because it's August and it's humid outside. I mean, I don't remember, there was a game, a playoff game years ago with the Flyers where you could barely watch it on TV because it was so foggy. Because the ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they did
Do you remember what game that was?
Stadium. Well, it was the Winter Classic, but it was, now they call it the Stadium Series. It was in Philadelphia. It was at the Philly Stadium, and it got so warm here that they were worried about the ice melting, so they brought in another chiller. So how an ice skating rink works in general is that there's cooling tubes that go underneath the rink, and that's how it freezes. So they just added an extra chiller. They added more refrigerant or more refrigerator condensing units so it can break down. There's a couple of my guys out there.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sabres Flyers.
That was
mid-70s.
Yes.
My phone's gonna die in.
Dude, I wasn't even born in the 70s, bro.
Yeah.
But it was the Winter Classic. They had it in Philly, and everybody knows that it was so warm that the ice was so soupy. It was the last Winter Classic or the Stadium Series. It was raining. They were going to cancel the game because of the rain. The air temperature was so they didn't bring in the extra chillers. But I don't want to talk refrigeration.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I can't imagine you have hockey playoffs in August, and then the season starts in October.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well,
yeah,
they'd
push the start.
What's that?
They'd push the start of the season because they still have to do the draft and all that. So yeah.
Yes, that would be crazy. I'm glad that football. As long as football's not affected, it's all I care about.
So MMR moved their concert, the MMR barbecue.
Yeah.
They moved that to September, and it was
That's
supposed
crazy.
to happen in like July. So we might be.
No, I think
shut-
I keep jokingly saying that 4th of July is when we'll celebrate our freedom.
right.
But Eric, what are you drinking? It's happy hour. You didn't even tell us.
It's Two Kind.
Let me see it.
Hang on a second.
Who makes it? Oh,
Can you see it?
yeah. Who is that? Who makes that?
It's
Three heads?
Three Heads.
Oh, three heads.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty good.
Is it?
Double IPA.
Got it over at Wegmans?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, have you been watching any like the old sports? Was that High Life?
Duh.
No, I haven't. But
What is wrong
Boston, the NBC Sports Radio
Yeah.
in Boston or out of Boston they're replaying old games on Saturdays and Sundays. They're not even bothered bringing anybody on air. Basically,
Did you see the one newspaper yesterday for April Fools posted like the MLB trades, and it was like all these like old players, like, oh, this team picked up this guy and this team picked up that guy, and it was all just players that had been retired or
No,
as an April
no, I
Fool's
didn't see
joke.
that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Considering there's like, why
I
do you
haven't
put
looked
the
at the
sport
Onion
pages?
very recently yet, but I think we should.
Yeah, I can look at the Onion. That would probably be
My phone's gonna die any second now.
Oh, well, you should plug it in.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Which means I should go inside.
Let me see if I
But
can.
then I'm gonna get an echo, so I'm gonna take my audio off.
Oh.
I'll kill my video as well because I'm not gonna be talking.
Okay. It's a good idea. Instead of checking CNN, we should constantly just check the Onion for fun news.
The Onion.
Yeah. Oh, you want so this is I get it. That's just a test of the emergency headline system. But last night, I listened to these old. When I go to sleep, I listen to these old radio shows from this guy named Art Bell, and I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, the emergency alert goes off, and it like wakes me up, and I'm like wake up to the emergency alert, and I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? Because I thought it was like the actual emergency alert. And it was like, this is just, it was because it was on the show from like 1995. You're kidding me.
What year?
Whatever. I mean, whatever year the emergency, whatever year the show was. The show ran.
That one?
Here. So this, I guess they are making a couple of jokes, right? Congress sets aside $1,200 in trust for each American until they prove they're responsible enough to handle it. He delays Easter to July 15th to keep the promise on the coronavirus. That's funny. Announces a plan to retrain the nation's 3 million unemployed Americans as human ventilators. That's pretty good.
I'm trying to figure this out real quick.
What are you trying to figure out?
No, keep going. That's why my head's down. I got it.
Oh, I can't even see your head. So
Just keep going.
yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, so I mean, I guess they're not making a whole lot of. They're not doing a whole lot of. I guess funny stories around this.
Well, it's not a funny matter.
Exactly. Well, that's what somebody had said. Like,
Just stay home.
I get it. That's gonna be like, I'm gonna just here, just for you. Here, I'm gonna do something just for you. Okay.
Just hashtag stay at home.
But yeah.
Please, just stay at home. There's no reason to go out. I'll tell you. If I had to go on this, if you really wanted to see what's going on out there,
just for Matt,
just stay at home. Just stay at home. There's no reason to go like travel the 7 seas, figure out the earth is flat, it's just stay home.
Did you hear right before this whole thing happened, that guy who was like a big flat earth guy had built like a homemade rocket and tried to go up to prove that the earth was flat, and the rocket failed and he went up like however far and then fell without a parachute and bounced off the desert floor.
What Apollo was that? I forget. Apollo.
It was not an Apollo. It was some random dude
Challenger. The Challenger. Never.
that blew up. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Were you alive when that happened? I don't even. Probably not.
No, dude. My dad was like probably in like 6. Probably graduated from high school, but I don't know.
Yeah, your dad graduated from high school by then. I remember watching it. I was in 3rd grade.
Well, you guys are the same age.
Oh, you're funny. You're real funny. You're so funny. I forgot to laugh.
Yeah. Oh, I heard that one before. So anybody want to join in on this? Like, what's Trump doing? Is Trump doing anything good?
Doesn't look like anybody wants to say hi.
Everybody just wants to watch this shit show.
Yeah, just want to watch me and you talk.
Well, you can find us at the Dutch on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Probably not for a while.
Not for a while.
Missouri's considering a statewide stay-at-home order.
As real as this is getting, it's almost like.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like as real as this is getting, like people are like losing their job, like it's scary. It's scary. Everybody's like, oh, we're gonna bounce back, but as you as a brewery owner, you as a restaurant owner knows seating. We can go into this, that the seating for restaurants, every seat's $5,000, right? And then right. So John Taffer was always, fill the restaurant, boom, boom, boom. Every seat's $5,000. These restaurants are now I'm not speaking for the restaurants, but John Taffer came out and said, there's going to be social distancing from restaurants now.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
Oh, we can't hear you, Eric. Nope. Still don't hear
you. There's somebody that...
Yeah, you're muted. No, you're not. You were muted, but you're not. Are you on your phone with your headset? You can hear us without your headset? I guess you can. Oh, jump out and jump back in. See if it helps. Or we could just play mind games and get a bad lip reading going on.
Well, we can get a sign language person that knows what they're doing.
Joe's a sign language guy. He can do it.
Right. So he's saying yesterday.
Did
you ask Echo? Has anybody asked? I don't want to say her name, but it begins with A on how the coronavirus started.
I got to tell you, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Let's see.
So there's an self-helper.
Better?
Yes.
All right.
It's called Alexa. Alexa.
Got it.
So I sent you a text because I'm not on Facebook right now.
Yeah, I saw it.
With a link to this. The song is "Stay the Fuck at Home."
Oh yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's pretty damn funny.
So Samuel Jackson.
He did the book too. Yeah, the book.
He said, "Go the fuck to bed."
Oh, I
it was stay the fuck home.
Piano.
Yeah.
It's just,
there was the song with the old dude doing the piano, and then there was was it Samuel L. Jackson who did this song or the book?
The book, the kid book. Go the fuck to bed. Yeah. And now he's doing stay the fuck home.
Right. Did you ever see the go to bed one, Eric?
No.
It was good. It was like he was reading the kid's book. And
he doesn't have a kid, so he would.
You're doing this. You're doing that. You're doing this. You go to F to bed, or go to F to sleep is what it was.
Right.
But
yeah, something like that.
It's like stay the F home or go the F home.
Yep, pretty much. I want to go the F to the bar.
You want to go there? Yeah, me and you both.
I just want to go to the casino.
Yeah, the casino. I mean, nothing's open right now. It's terrible.
No, it's crazy. I'm curious what the impact to May is going to be, though. Right? Like
What do you mean?
the financial impact. Like it's already hitting a lot of like. So I was talking to Paul at Paladar.
Yeah.
They have like $100 in sales a day.
And are they still having to pay rent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how many restaurants are going to close?
Right.
Right.
What's the? I mean, or so the like for me the question is like the stimulus package that they're talking about. Does it put the does it push back the leasee or the leaseholder, right? Is it the bank that owns the property?
It's
The
not putting
person
back.
who has to pay the bill? Like who gets the benefit here?
Well,
I mean,
so there's a number of benefits. So for people that work, or even like bartenders and waiters, or people that own their own business, or gig workers, part-time people who wouldn't even be normally qualify for unemployment.
right.
They're still getting $600 a week.
Yeah.
From through the state unemployment, but from the feds. And then if you're a business owner, there's like grants and loans. So, maybe Paladar ends up having to go get a loan or something, to be able to stay open. Like the new place that's under construction, like that construction's shut down.
Yep.
Like when are they gonna open? Like, can you imagine if they were meant to open? August would be lucky if they open in August. I mean, if they don't start construction back up until July.
Yeah, but Bizzuto is still doing construction, so I don't understand why they can't.
Oh, are they? Really?
Yeah,
Where?
or excuse me, not Bizzuto, but the one that's right across the street from us.
They're still doing construction
Like
over
Hanover
there?
3, they're still doing construction. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be.
Well, they
Construction as in like building walls? Like I think like when it says construction, I think it's like
Yeah, the only cars that are in the parking lot over at 24-Hour Fitness are the construction workers that are walking to work.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they're supposed to be working right now. Because there's also that new place behind it, the retirement community or whatever that's going to be.
maybe that's where they're going.
Rich's new home. What is it? 512.
I think Rich's is. I think they stopped construction.
They halted. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole construction industry, and that's one where it's weird because construction. A lot of the times you're not within 6 feet of another person. But
right.
Holding a board for somebody drilling something in.
Yeah, no, not. I mean, yes, maybe sometimes, but I guess it's just not essential. But landscapers are fine. Landscapers are essential workers.
They're outdoors though.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I don't understand why like would Major League Baseball really be that big of a deal? Because they say if you're outside, it's not a 6-foot distance isn't required because it's outside and you're not as susceptible.
Except if you're catching the ball and tagging somebody out at base, but and I think the bigger issue is they make their money by having people come to the stadium.
Anymore, so.
Huh? Spitballs, right?
Spitball's not legal anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, what's funny because I was in. Here's like one of those weird things that you run into. I was in the grocery store. I don't know how long ago, whatever day it was, and you know how like when you do the self checkout because that's the only thing that's open half the time. For the plastic bags, you like lick your fingers and like split the bag open. Have you ever tried to split a bag open without licking your fingers first? Because you've been in the grocery store all day long, or not all day, but for the past 20 minutes, grocery shopping, and you don't want to put coronavirus on your tongue.
Right.
How do you open the plastic
hand
bag?
sanitizer? It's right there.
They don't have any hand sanitizer. Right. They don't have any hand sanitizer.
No, it's at Wegmans in Collegeville. There's hand sanitizer, right?
It's funny. I can't hear Matt, but I can hear you.
Oh, really? Matt's saying that at Wegmans in Collegeville, there's hand sanitizer.
Like
But-
right
We only
at
have
the
the
checkout.
sanitizers you walk in and you walk out here.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I
Yeah.
did was luckily I had something frozen, so it was like starting to like kind of get condensation on it. So I just rubbed my hands on that so I could get them wet so I could open the bag up. But the first bag I was like literally sitting there trying to figure out how do I open this plastic bag with my groceries in it.
First world pandemic problems.
Seriously, they should put like I don't know, that would be even worse. Like I don't know what you do. Maybe now is the time for paper bags. I don't know.
Right.
Paper or plastic.
It's not paper or plastic. It's just you can't use the plastic. Not without licking your fingers, right? And you're not supposed to. Did you see that thing when this first thing started first kicking in? There was a woman like giving a speech, and she was like, "Whatever you do, don't touch your hands to your face." And then she went to go turn the page, and she's like,
Right.
"It was hilarious." It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't even paid attention to whether or not I touch my face or not. I know I do, but
That's the most important piece. You're not supposed to touch your face. Like,
Or make sure your hands are clean when you do it.
you gotta check that shave,
yeah, right. I shaved yesterday for the first time in I don't know how long. I was telling Matt like my hair's getting so long I can't even do it anymore.
Just greasing it back.
Yeah, I have like another 2 days and then I'm in a hat for a while.
You're in a hat for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
true.
I already have a hat on.
long.
Yeah, let's see what it's like without the hat on, Matt. Let's do it.
No, it's not.
Nope.
It's called a Fro Central.
Yeah, one of the guys I work with, he's got a massive fro. Just messy hair fro.
Hat hair all day.
So
Oh,
Florida finally said to stay at home.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I
guy
saw
was
that.
getting in trouble.
oh,
Yesterday,
look at all that white hair. Oh yeah.
how you do it when I can't see you? Oh yeah, you should dye it, Matt.
Look at that white. Hell no. Take pride in
So he
my
said
white hair.
Thursday on a news briefing that he did not believe the government had the authority to close church.
Oh yeah, I heard about this guy.
So I mean, I don't know how many people are
Like-
actually going to be in agreement with this or not, but I think that kind of social cleansing is maybe needed.
I mean, listen, whether it's it doesn't matter what it is. If you're going to
God's
stand
gonna
next to
save you,
1,000 other
let him have
people,
his run.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
if
I mean, I just think
intelligence
it's like saying come to this concert or come to this comedy show or come to this sporting event. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
right.
Well,
Like
they might-
if God wanted me to get sick by attending a Flyers game, then I'll get sick. It's the same premise, except you're going to church, right? So if
Yeah,
somebody
that's what
is
he
going
said.
to go to church and use that as their means of just convincing themselves that it's all right, then by all means go. Please.
Yeah, this is what he says. He says, I think that in times like this, I think the service that they're performing is going to be very important for people, especially when you have difficult circumstances, and do it right. And so do it right. Make sure that you're following the mission. But I think, particularly coming for the Easter season, I think people are going to want to have access to religious services, whether it's online, whether it's in a more socially distant type of service. But to have that available, I think is very important. I think the bar would be important too, but
So I think my previous statement, if it didn't send it home, my following statement is really going to give you an understanding of where I am as a religious person. For Lent, why don't people give up the word of God for a week?
okay. I mean, I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to touch that one. It's 10-foot pole. I did want to ask you a question though, because I saw this story,
Yeah.
and I don't know how true it is, and you might be able to speak to it if you don't mind. I saw a story about, I don't remember what country it was, but they were saying there was some country where the guys were on a sub and they had no idea that this was going on because they had like no access to the outside world for whatever reason. So I know you worked on a sub, but do you guys, when you're on a sub, do you have access to the outside world?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, so yes and no. So like all communication is filtered through radio
Secure
link.
networks.
Right. It's all secure. Well, it's secured networks, but they read incoming transmissions and outgoing transmissions, especially outgoing transmissions. So, and they scrub out any like certain communications in regards to where you've been or what you're doing.
Right.
Right. So incoming, they don't scrub a lot. But like, so I would ask them to take out any indication of like sports score references, and they would do that for me, so I could go home and I could watch it on recording, and it would basically be live, right? But like outgoing communications is like any port that you hit, it's scrubbed out, like locations and time frames and all of that thing.
Right.
Anything that you've been doing, but incoming communications are there. Now they're delayed, right? So if you're underwater and you're not at a depth where you can put up an antenna to receive those signals,
Right.
then they're delayed, right? So there's very few types of communications that you receive while submerged.
How long do subs stay submerged for? Like a long period of time?
Okay, no, well, I mean, you can stay submerged like for an entire deployment. It's whether or not you're at periscope depth, right? So you're at a depth where you can raise a periscope, masts of antennas, receive and send classified and unclassified communications, those types of things. So yeah.
Yes, I didn't know if maybe this was like some country that just didn't have nearly the sophistication that we have, or maybe they're a country that their
I don't
sub
think
is
that there's any
underwater.
submarine now that doesn't have that type of sophistication. It's probably just policy and procedure.
Oh, okay. Right, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That would make sense. But that would be nuts. Like this is all going on and the whole world stopped and you have no clue.
It would suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what would suck even more is you're on a boat, whether it's a submarine or not, or you're deployed to a foreign nation, and your family is at home dealing with all of this shit, and there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
You're right.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's probably even more tough. Yo, Joe, I saw you just joined. Why don't you jump on and chit chat with us? I know it's not that hard now. tinyurl.com/cvhappy7. So it's episode 7.
There was actually a meme that one of my former shipmates sent me, and it was isolation for months at a time, eating nothing but canned food, and having limited access to internet and people. Yep, we've been training for this for years. #Submariners.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Last night, so Joe's commenting. I see he's getting ready to put his daughter down. That's cool. What's up, Joe? But he and another guy joined last night because these guys were inmates back in the day. Joe actually was in like solitary for a year. So he was trying to relate, like, that's, I mean, I wouldn't say we're going through anything. I said to him, like, this is nothing like solitary. I can still go to the store. But
yeah, no,
he's like, listen, I was in solitary for a year. This sucks, but it makes you appreciate your freedom more, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe said he'll be on tomorrow with a couple of other people. That's cool, Joe. I hope to see you tomorrow. Joe says, "Yo, Maddie, what's up, bro?"
Yeah, I'm gonna roll in like 3 or 4 minutes. My sister's texting me to call her.
Okay, that's cool. How's she doing? She's still up in Maine?
Yeah, apparently taco trucks are essential, so she's rocking. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, tell her to bring that taco truck down here. I could go for some tacos.
And her girlfriend is a nurse. She works at a ER in one of the hospitals up there, and she was saying that they haven't really been hit yet, but it's like it's coming. She can see it like moving towards them.
Yeah.
And is anticipating that in the next few weeks she's going to be working a lot.
Yeah, my friend's an ER doc in Florida, and I was talking to him today. He's like, I'm like, so are you busy yet? He's like, surprisingly, no. Like, nobody's out. He's like, so things have been really slow. But he's like, I expect as this starts to ramp up, we'll get busier.
Is it a small town?
He's in Fort Lauderdale. He's one of the hospitals that would deal with this cruise
Wow.
ship coming in.
Wow, that's
Now when I
surprising.
say surprisingly slow, I don't know if I'm not saying that means nobody, right? But comparatively to what like a busy night might be.
You still have your
my
hypochondriac.
favorite story, like thinking of that, like in terms of them being slow, the opposite of that would be New York.
Yeah.
Where they had the Navy medical ship come in.
Yeah. Mercy.
And there's
Mercy
like
there?
thousands of people standing on the pier welcoming them into the city,
I
like
know.
completely missing the point.
Completely
What
missing
the hell is wrong with
I had
folks?
no idea. I saw that.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they're all up on the subways and everything. I was just reading the story earlier. The Jacob Javits Center. They originally made the Javits Center. They were going to make it. I think it's what did it say? 250 beds, 2,500? No, 2,500 beds.
2,500 beds. Yeah.
And that was originally going to be for non-COVID patients, but now they're like, we got too many. It's COVID patients now. Yeah. And they got approval from Trump to do it. So.
Yeah. Well, so a friend of mine's. In Florida, it's not. So it's my father's friend. He's in his early 70s, and he got really sick, and it kind of met all of the symptoms of COVID-19. And he was in the hospital for a week before the results came back negative. They didn't test for anything else for a week because the symptoms met. And then a week later, they started testing for other symptoms. And before all of the run of tests that they did came back, his liver shut down, his kidneys started to shut down.
Are you kidding me?
All it was
sepsis?
It was hepatitis A from bad fish, basically. And it started shutting down his internal system because he had no treatment from it.
Jeez.
Because they didn't test for anything else.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So now he's in need of a fucking liver transplant. Pardon the vulgarity. Should I not
You're
be cussing
good.
on here?
No, you're whatever.
We
have
so
4 people watching. I don't think YouTube's going to shut us down.
It's an old show.
He's in need of a liver transplant, but they're not doing that surgery because of COVID. But he needs the surgery because they didn't identify it soon enough because of COVID. It's just, it's
that's
like
insane.
Some of what is happening as a byproduct of this is out of control.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, when they consider the deaths due to COVID, if someone's dying because they're not being properly prognosed, but they're not testing positive for COVID, they're not including them.
Right. Well, they're also
passes away. He's directly a death related to it, but not
right. Not from it directly.
From it.
Right.
So it's
well, the other thing's happening on the other side too. I have a friend who has it. They wouldn't test him. He's not showing up in the positives.
Right. He didn't have symptoms. He didn't have.
He had symptoms, but they were like, "You're 39. I think you just turned 40. You're 40 years old. You're healthy. Go home. Isolate. We're not testing you." That was in Seattle. He was at a birthday party where they were doing karaoke. Huh? Yeah, he wasn't in the age group. He didn't have critical symptoms.
Yeah.
But he was at a karaoke party for his birthday, and somebody was there. Nobody knew it, but somebody was there that had just got back from China, and they were all doing karaoke. And everybody got it.
Wow.
That was on, I think, the 13th, Friday the 13th. Something like that. He got it. His brother got it. Everybody got it.
Yeah, that was the day that I was
that you got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had surgery that day. So I'm no longer able to have children.
Oh. Well done.
Thank you. So I was at home from that day forward, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the 3 weeks prior to the surgery that are really brutal.
Yeah. Oh, have you had that done?
No, but I remember taking Eric. Did Eric ever tell you the story about me taking him to the hospital?
No, I didn't know you took him to the hospital.
Not to the hospital. Yeah, but I was in my Jeep.
Oh no!
Him getting in and dude, he took it so
he loved
quickly. He was like, "Nope, I'm good. Just drive. Just drive."
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
So you drove them. That was nice. I drove myself.
Ooh,
Hmm.
ouch.
Well, I was busy at work.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Right.
Not about you. I mean, so
About you.
Well, when you
I
eat
was
ball
actually
snip,
fine
do you
when I
really
got
think?
up. When I sat up from the table after he was done, like during the first half, I was fine. The second half, I was starting to like get diaphoretic. I was starting to sweat. And when he was done, he's like, "All right, you're good." So I like sat up and I put on my clothes and like I started getting dizzy. I was real sweaty. I'm like, "Hold on, I got nauseous. I gotta sit down a minute." He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just think I'm just in my head a little. I just gotta my
Right.
blood pressure, you know." So I sat down a second. They got me some soda, some water, and then I'm like, "All right, I'm good." They're like, "Oh no, we're gonna test. You're gonna check your blood pressure before you leave because we don't, you know." So I got my blood pressure. It
Yeah.
was fine. I got in the car. I called my friend. I was talking to him. And then I was like, I'm hungry now. I want Chick-fil-A. So I was gonna drive to Chick-fil-A. I got stuck in traffic. That is
Ooh.
not fun. Sitting in your
No.
car, stuck in traffic.
No. Especially
Listen,
after that procedure.
no, not fun. Not fun at all.
All right. I got to roll.
All right, cool. Good
Have a good
seeing you.
night, guys.
All right,
Yep.
catch up with you
Likewise. I'll
soon.
catch you tomorrow.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
All right, see
Later.
you. Yep. That's cool. So it's funny. Eric lives in my building.
Oh yeah.
This is how we see each other. Like we used to hang out by the grill, like right
I know.
outside there, Like, and now this is what this is what we're stuck with. So,
Well, let's make the best out of it, right?
yeah, exactly. Actually, I should go get some food and cook it on the grill. That's what I should do tonight. Is it nice outside?
Yeah, dude.
I should go get some food and cook myself.
Alexa, what's the temperature outside right now?
Right
55.
now, it's 54 degrees Fahrenheit.
55.
Tonight, expect a low of 43 degrees. By the way, we've spoken before and it would be nice to learn your name. Should I do that?
Hell no. Shit. Put her to bed. She don't need to know my name.
To know your name. Yeah. Google doesn't say that. Hey Google, what's the weather like outside? Google doesn't ask me for my name.
Well, do you remember like when you used to call like 1-800 operator? Like when you press 0 and you had the operator before the phone book?
Yeah.
Was the phone book? That chick, the Bell Atlantic chick, just died. I'm like, oh,
What?
oh, I need to know the number to this place or info. Remember 215? What was the info line? 215. I forget.
I don't know. I think you were doing 976 numbers, and it wasn't the info line you were dialing.
No, the info. Oh, you calling for movie theater times?
Yeah. Do you remember? Yeah. Did you ever?
So, all right, there you go. All right, now we're in this bank. Now you'll know. Okay. So then 215 for the info. Like you can just call. Somebody help me out. Boss,
Nobody
you know
watching.
it.
It's just me and you.
It was
Here, I'll go.
215 51, like what Full House used to say their phone number was because it was information. The information line. You could call. Nobody? No. Okay. Maybe I'm just insane.
No, I'm looking.
Information line. It was like 515. Someone in my era would know.
Was I don't know.
Information.
This is like all the new stuff. Now it's 311. I remember it used to be like 9.
Well, that's 311 or 311, but
remember like 976 laugh.
Well, yeah, that's how somebody got a tattoo.
Yeah, that wasn't a 976 number.
Uh,
That was an 800 number, and that was more recent. That was probably 10 years ago.
uh,
All right, well, hey, it's 7:35. Nobody's watching,
yeah, we're at.
so I think we're good for tonight.
It.
I'm going to go use the restroom, go get some food, eat some dinner. I'm still working on getting that physician. Hopefully, I'll know in the next day or two. The guy down from Christiana Healthcare. So, keep an eye out for that. Obviously, people, I want you guys to join in. So, if you're watching this a couple days after our broadcast, join in. This is meant to be social, right? So, we want to talk to you. We want to learn from you. We want to be social with you. Maybe forge some new friendships. To do something positive when we're stuck at home.
Just don't say, "Oh, these guys suck," because they're on every day.
Yeah,
Make it better.
They can say
Make
that.
it better.
They can say that. And if you know anybody that wants to tell a story, let me know. I'll feature them. I want to get people to come on and talk to us about anything that's related, even or not related. How are you being affected at home, at work? What can you share? If you know anybody that's an expert and wants to talk about any topic related to any of this, doesn't matter to me. We're just trying to create a community of people to come together and, be social during this time. So I see that somebody just joined in, and if you don't say hi, we're ending. So if you want to say hello, jump on in. We'd like to meet you. But otherwise, invite other people and participate, make this community something that everyone looks forward to. I actually, Matt, I don't know if I told you, but somebody actually reached out and said to me the other day, they were like, hey, I actually look forward to this, watching you guys or joining in with you guys every day. So that's great to hear. And I want to keep that up, but we need you in order to be able to do it. So
Right. We're trying.
Yeah.
So, look at my gray hair. I love it.
Yeah. I think you should go get some hair dye. I might have a little packet somewhere.
No, bro.
Turn it blue. Maybe in 3 months, my hair will be down to my back. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're Tuesdays are. But what? No. But yeah, just to lighten up what Bobby said, if it wasn't for you guys joining in, it's all interactive. So it's not you guys sit behind the screen and listen to us talk. We want you, right? Just call in.
Call in.
Remember like hot girl check-in. Like,
yeah, we should do some of that.
Your hot girl check-in.
We're gonna do some fun
I'm
stuff.
not like trying to like pervert shit, but like
no. I want to do some fun stuff. Like if
do you really think I like drinking with that guy?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If there's anybody that's single, maybe I'm going to save this for a topic for tomorrow because I want to talk about it. But if anybody that's single wants to jump in and do we can do some fun things like what's that called? Like rapid dating. What do they call that?
Speed dating thing?
Yeah, we got like a speed dating event where like I'll bring in one like girl and then like a guy has like a minute to talk to her,
Okay, well, let's talk this over.
Say again? Huh?
Let's talk this over before this happens.
I'm just saying. We're you know what I saw today on social media? There was you know how you do like flip cup, but it was
I saw that.
It was flip cup tic-tac-toe. Did you see that?
Now the guys I saw that, but then the window washers on the high rise, they're playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. No, the flip cup tic-tac-toe looks like fun where you do drink the drink, try and get your cup to flip over, and when it lands right, then you put it in the tic-tac-toe.
Ooh.
And see who wins.
Hmm. But Jennifer Summers. Call Small if you're feeling better, please.
Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better. It looks like she might know Joe, so that's good.
It looks like she has a lot to say with us. And then
she's got a unique perspective being in her line of work.
Yeah. So
All right,
looks like
cool. Well,
Yeah.
Matt, it was good seeing you. Everyone else, hopefully we'll
am I
talk
going
tomorrow.
bald? Am I going bald? No.
I think you are. Yes, just wait.
Oh
for it.
no, I just saw your reflection. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
All right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. Can't wait.
All right. Sounds great. We'll see everybody soon. Thanks again.
Stay
Join us- Oop, sorry, Matt. Join us tomorrow, 6 o'clock every night, Eastern Standard Time. Good night, America.